Previously on Off the Air.
It could be worse. You could have been not in the airport for the day.
I'm nothing if not a classy, incredibly talented video editor.
Every buzz without fail is got like, play Arc Knights.
Here's the rest of the episode.
Yeah, I got a ton of One Piece branded stuff. That was like a large portion of my trip was just buying different One Piece things. I bought a One Piece tackle box in Tokyo.
That's rad.
Yeah, what a specific thing.
I want more stuff in my life that's branded like this. I know it's like, it's just egregious advertising.
It is,
but like,
it's okay.
It is. It also doesn't cost any extra though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want it.
And
it's
also,
just like,
it's like if you're
fun.
advertising for something that you like, if you like something, why not make it clear that you like it?
Yeah, and it's just like the biggest thing is it's not extra money.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times if you get like the water or the Pokemon water is $1 more. But all like the tissues and stuff we got were like the Pokemon tissues, and they were the same price. I also got a One Piece Easy card to get onto the MRT and stuff.
Amazing.
Oh, the MRT is also very cheap.
I would assume so, yeah.
Like, I think the most expensive it ever got is we rode it a long way, and I think it was around $2.
mm-hmm.
Usually it's a little less than $1 a ride.
I don't like the U.S. sometimes, y'all.
Yeah.
The U.S. has some, I don't know how to tell you this, the U.S. has some problems.
I think it's wild how one visit to another country will have you assuming that the U.S. is the only bad country in the world. This isn't like directed at either of you right now, but like that's always my takeaway is like, wow, everywhere else is good except for us. And I know that's not really the case.
No,
but
it's just
also
weird to
it's
go somewhere
really
where,
hard
they
to like
care a lot more about their people.
Yeah.
And not always for the best reasons, and they're not always the best people doing it. But like, it's just strange to interact with a society in which even the bad faith governmental party is like, we want everyone to be doing okay. Where like we don't have any political parties that say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just strange that like, yeah, people who are even like you might not agree with will be like, I still think you should be able to get around in the city, and I don't think we should.
And eat.
The
like,
biggest
have
thing
healthcare.
is that like there is definitely a lot of places for like rich people in Taipei. There's definitely a lot of rich people in Taipei, but they don't take up nearly the space they do in the U.S.
It's because they just live
like
at the top of a big tower. They mind their business in one spot.
I just feel like they're not allowed to. Like there's not as much space taken up. And granted, there's still more space taken up by rich people than poor people in most situations. But I feel like in the U.S., like rich people just own everything and take up all the space.
Yeah.
And other countries as well. I mean, there's a lot of situations where like rich people just be taking up tons of space.
Yeah.
But I feel like there wasn't a lot of times where I was like, oh man, and maybe I wasn't in the right spots, but it's kind of cool that the right spots weren't like the city center.
Yeah, exactly. I would be very curious to see like if that's part of the poverty in like the rural communities is like this idea of like that's where the rich people have congregated and that's where they own all the land kind of thing.
I think maybe a little, but it's such a small like part of the actual country landmass wise.
True. Unlike the US where it's what, like 70% rural at least.
Yeah. And the trains make it out into the rural areas pretty conveniently, and the buses even more so.
Nice. I love a good functional transit system. It is low key, high key, my least favorite like general convenience thing that the US has going on for me right now.
Which is crazy because you live in the place with like the best one out of everywhere.
And it still sucks so bad.
That's so sad. Because like most people in the US who are like, I'd like to be in a city with transit, they're like, well, like if I'm going to stay in the country, New York would be the one.
Yeah. And then you go to New York and you're like, oh yes, the transit system that works half the time. If you're feeling lucky. Trains that run when they get there and shit that gets canceled on a moment's notice because go fuck yourself.
How fast do the trains move in New York?
Not fast to fuck enough. I can look it up. Here, hold on. We have technology.
So that's
why not?
Something that I love a lot is that people will say, well, it's because the rail system isn't, it can't handle a fast moving train or, something like that.
Whose fault is that?
Well, and it's like, well, you know what other countries have old ass train systems that aren't slow? Because they retrofitted the entire system.
Well, I mean, then you get into the conversation of like corporate corruption and greed, because like I'm 99% sure that we've done that for both Amtrak and
Without a doubt.
like the major internet companies are the two big ones that I know for a fact we've given them, like the country's given them billions with a B dollars to like fix up the rail system, and then the money just into somebody's pocket. Average speed in the New York City subway is 17.4 miles per hour. Top speed is 55 miles an hour. Yeah.
Wait, how much was the top speed?
55.
What was the average speed?
17.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
28 kilometers.
Okay.
89 kilometers, respectively.
Holy shit. I got to figure out how fast the trains in Taipei go, because
Taipei trains be like the slowest we will go is 80 miles an hour.
No, average speed is 20 miles an hour. Top speed is 50 miles an hour.
Okay.
And night, they really go towards that top speed a lot more.
I feel like the top speed for the New York subway is probably getting out in like the boroughs. I don't think you'd ever see that anywhere near the city.
They operate faster. They operate slower really faster during the mornings. So you'll be getting that top speed in the mornings. Mm-hmm. In the afternoons, they go a little slower, and then at night they go super fast.
That's rad.
Yeah, the Taipei Metro is really cool and super convenient. The stops are nice. There's plenty of them. The lines are not confusing at all, because like I said, there's 6 lines for the whole city.
Mm-hmm. So how, like you can only be off by like 5 lines at the absolute most, even if you completely fuck up.
Yeah, it gets pretty easy to hop from line to line, because they all connect to different points. Mm-hmm. Sometimes multiple times, which is convenient. Not a lot of transferring, which is nice, and it's crazy to think that that's for a city of around 7 million.
Yeah, that's insane, actually.
Like because it services like Taipei, New Taipei City, and then to a lesser extent like Keelung, which is, they're all right there built on top of each other functionally. Like Mari doesn't actually live in Taipei, and I technically didn't spend a lot of time in Taipei, because Taipei proper is like a really small circle that consists of like a few buildings downtown, because they districted it off like that, like however many years ago, like 50 years ago. And so then like most of what is like quote unquote Taipei is actually New Taipei City.
Oh my
God,
I love that.
Literally on top of, connecting to, right next to Taipei. They were like, this one's not. They're like, well, you can't make that Taipei technically, because the zoning ends here. They're like, okay, well, it's a New Taipei City.
It's rad though.
Like, imagine if they built New York City,
and they just built New York City.
Like, what if they built New York City in York?
Yeah.
That's essentially what happened, and it's really funny.
That's rad though.
So most people actually live in New Taipei City and work in New Taipei City.
Anytime you say like New blank city, with the exception of New York, obviously, because New York.
Are you thinking New Donk City?
I wasn't actually. I was gonna say it always has big it gives me big like cyberpunky like retro futurism vibes.
Oh, okay.
That's true. There's not a lot of new blank cities.
Yeah, like you get like New Mexico City or something, but like that doesn't.
No, that doesn't.
Do you
count.
get New Mexico City?
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Where?
In
New Mexico.
There's New Mexico City in New Mexico.
Is there not? Last I checked, I thought there was.
There's gotta be, right?
I mean, Mexico City is the largest city in North America, but I don't know about New Mexico City.
Fair enough.
There's no New Mexico City.
Oh my God.
I apologize for making things up.
You're thinking just Mexico City. Because we got Mexico City, there's Kansas City.
But like Kansas City,
we need a new Mexico City to fight with Mexico City.
Kansas City, I sleep. New Kansas City is the real shit.
Where's New Kansas City at?
It's around Kansas City, obviously.
What if? Okay, so hear me out.
Damn it.
What if you found out tomorrow that like in central China, they just built New Mexico City?
What a power move, honestly, frankly.
Or like, what if
my immediate thought would be like, oh, it's our own fault. We've made Chinatown in every town in the U.S. This is their turn.
True. Or like, what if you turn on the news and they're like, India has just unveiled New Kansas City?
Again, I cannot stress enough. What a power move. I'm not even mad.
Like, is there recourse for that? If if Germany just was like, it's New Trenton City. Well, first of all, everyone would be like, why?
Why of all places? But go off. Go off, Kings.
Are they allowed to do that? Like, could India just have New Kansas City? Is that allowed?
I don't see why not.
I guess.
Who's going to stop them? The cops?
Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes.
Pat, you got to do something here, buddy.
I love this as an idea very much.
Yeah, if I ever become like a leader of any nation, I'm doing that.
When you become a leader of a nation,
Thank
Jackson,
you.
I believe in you.
I think it has to be this one. Like, I don't think you're allowed to just be like a foreign leader in most countries.
Yeah, I feel like
Foreign born, foreign citizen. I feel like there's some like moved here as a baby leeway in some countries, but like foreign born, foreign citizen for like a majority of your life. I feel like that's.
Oh yeah, it's the same rule as earlier. Once you turn 8 years old, you're legally a person, so it counts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I turned 8 in the U.S. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss.
It's all right. So when I become like the president, I'm just gonna like be like, hey guys.
Wait.
In central Minnesota, we're starting
New Shanghai City.
Yeah, New Shanghai. Like, get used to it.
Speaking of, actually, so I looked up Taipei 101 just because I wanted to know what the building looked like because it's been a hot minute.
So cool. I also sent pictures in the chat.
You did. Well, I was looking at it and I'm like, I think that's the building, but I want to make sure because
the Christmas Eve one is really cool. It was like the one where it's all lit up blue. I think it was usually, but
I looked up Taipei 101 and it's like, oh, the hours might be different due to observing New Year. And I'm like, excuse me? And then I clicked on it. It's a restaurant in North Carolina.
That's nice. Yeah,
so
we didn't go up to the top of Taipei 101. You can. It's just kind of expensive, and most of the days it was really cloudy, so you couldn't even see. Like the top was above the cloud cover.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been like fully above cloud cover like that a couple of times in my life, and it is extremely cool, to be fair.
Yeah, but it's like a low visibility cloud cover, so it's not like
it's not the fun kind where it just looks like a giant,
yeah, it's just wet and hazy.
Yeah. Speaking of wet and hazy, not to like pull away from Taiwan from
IPAs
from nice, not to pull away from your trip at all, but New Year's was what, yesterday, day before yesterday. Time is fake and an illusion. And Michelle and I were like moments away from going into New York because I work close enough to see the fucking Times Square from my office, so would have been cool. And then we get up that morning and it was so foggy out that like the visibility was actually zero. Like I'm talking like a matter of feet in front of you.
Yeah.
Type fog.
Nice.
It was insane. It was actually more than Gritmas fog, Noah.
You kidding me? That was bad fog.
No, it was bad fog. This was more than Gritmas fog. I wasn't even comfortable taking the drone out to get some extra footage of it because I'm like, I will run into something.
Fantastic.
It was rad. I feel like I don't get like massive fog cover like that often. Like maybe once a year, maybe.
I feel like there's been a lot of fog recently around here. I don't know. I know it's just because it's supposed to be cold right now and everything's melty, so it's like
so it's not sure what to do.
Well, no, it's the kind of weather that makes fog, like a lot of moisture and it's a little cold.
Because it's yeah. I don't know. I always get excited when it's like a super foggy day. It has good vibes.
I love driving in like a really thick fog.
That's a bold statement. Because I am terrified of the fog that was here on New Year's. I don't think there's actually literally an amount of money in the world that you could have given me to drive in. Like there was actually no way because I would have died.
The worst fog I ever drove through, I remember, was when I went to pick Dan up in Philly.
Yeah, one time. I remember the story.
That was incredibly bad. I was driving and I could maybe see 20 feet in front of the car at most.
Oh, yeah.
So it ended up adding 2 hours to my drive, which was
You're
not
already long as fuck drive.
Oh my God, it was so long.
And then the great co-pilot, immediately fell asleep when I got in your car.
You did.
I suck.
I mean, the funniest part is that it's not like I picked you up at a weird time. I just picked you up in the morning. It was daytime when we're awake. Let's go. And you're like, hell yeah, conk out immediately.
I don't know what it is. It's like maybe I was driven around too much as a baby, something, but I fall asleep in cars. It doesn't matter how short the ride is. Like Michelle, I've driven to the grocery store before and I've fallen asleep on the way there.
Me saying this is going to make it sound like I'm trying to like clown on you in some way.
No, it's fair. Go for it.
But I haven't fallen asleep regularly in a car in a long time, but I used to fall asleep in the car from like ages like 15 to 20. If I was riding, I didn't matter how long the ride was, I would immediately fall asleep.
I mean, if I had to make an educated guess, do you think it may have changed because you started driving like shortly after that?
No.
During that time period?
No, I think it changed.
That's why it stopped.
Because my sleeping habits had to change because of work. I think that's probably what happened.
That's fair. That'll do it. Having actual healthy sleeping habits could not be me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pull away from Jackson's trip. It It was.
We got through like a lot of it.
Yeah,
I was reminded.
I thought we were rolling to talking about New Year's. Was what I thought we were about to do.
Did we talk about Christmas yet?
Well, no, because we didn't record after Christmas. This is our first recording.
That's why it was that. Sorry, I apologize. That was a rhetorical question.
Oh,
I already knew the answer. I was making sure that like I didn't know if we wanted to talk about Christmas. How's that?
I mean, I didn't do anything special for Christmas excessively, like nothing notable. I went and hung out with my family all day. And actually, no, this is fun. We watched A Christmas Carol all day long.
Just on loop?
No. We watched 4 different renditions of A Christmas Carol.
I love that, actually. That's amazing.
Okay. Let me get, which ones did you watch?
So we watched the first ever filmed version, which is currently available on Amazon, like newly colorized or something. So we put that on out of curiosity.
Yeah.
We watched.
Was it good?
I missed most of it, but it was actually, so there's no religious tones in your average Christmas Carol, you know? So it was actually really weird to watch the movie closed out with like, God rest ye merry gentlemen or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, there was just like, no, that wasn't the right one, come to think of it. But there was like a religious Christmas song attached that like a whole choir was singing. And it was interesting, you know, because I'm like, oh, you don't see that often. That's neat. But then we watched the Mr. Magoo Christmas Carol. Because we needed something that none of us really cared about while we did like the gift stuff. And then we watched Year Without a Santa Claus to break it up a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta.
We came back.
Gotta space it out
with Scrooged.
Which one is that?
That's the Bill Murray one.
Okay.
Where he's like a TV mogul. And then there's the Muppet Christmas Carol is what we ended on.
Which is, you know, as we all know, a pinnacle of television.
I was sad. I was hoping you had watched the same one that I watched, which was the only available version on Netflix in Taiwan, which is the Netflix original version of it. That's like a musical.
The one that just came out like this year, right?
Yeah.
How is that? Ass? Okay.
Ass.
It looked kind of ass.
Bad.
It
Don't
looked kind
watch
of
it.
ass.
Bad.
I'm not going to lie to you, but I was really curious.
It opens with like the weirdest musical number about how much Scrooge's nephew loves Christmas.
Really? What? That
Scrooge's nephew is like a main character.
But okay, so in my
mind,
and
they add in a dog.
In my mind, the core part of A Christmas Carol needs to be how much Scrooge hates Christmas, not how much his family loves Christmas.
Correct.
Yeah, his nephew.
His family is a
way larger part of the story. He has an animal companion in the form of a snarky dog. And he sings a love song at one point. It's a musical. The movie's a musical.
Yeah.
We've established, I think, on air before that the two of you at least do not like musical movies.
I like musicals. I just don't think that you should remake things as a musical just to try and sell it to kids.
Yeah, I do not like musicals though.
That's what it was.
There are musicals I enjoy. There are musicals, dare I say, that I like.
But as a rule,
musicals are just not quite for me.
That's valid.
It's so hard to not be corny and also be a musical.
Exactly, yeah. It's really, really hard. It's hard to do a musical without sacrificing a certain amount of story because, like, for the purpose of the musical. Although I will say, the more times I see like stuff that was on Broadway and then adapted to like a musical format, or like adapted to like a like film musical format, I do kind of think that is like, if you're going to adapt a musical out of something, at least do it with something that actually like was supposed to be one in the first place.
Like Hamilton.
I watched Matilda actually this over Christmas.
Oh, that's true.
It was fine. I'd hesitate to say it was great, but like, hot take here, the book wasn't great either. So
I've never seen Matilda. I've heard that it's fine though.
It's totally fine. It has one or two really good, really fun songs.
I feel like the big issue with a lot of things like that is it's a childhood movie for a lot of people that I missed out on, and
it just came out.
Oh,
yeah, this is the brand new one.
Oh, the new Matilda.
This is the musical version.
Oh, never mind. I take it back.
Because it was amazing. In the thing, it's like Roald Dahl's Matilda adapted from the Broadway Matilda, based on the movie Matilda, from story from Matilda. Because it's now on like its 6th iteration removed from the original.
I do like that.
But I think like the further it gets from the original, the better it gets. I don't know if did you guys read Roald Dahl growing up? Like, was that a big part of your childhood experience? Do you remember Matilda at all?
I never read Matilda.
I remember Matilda, yeah.
Yeah, I read the one with the snozcumbers and stuff like that, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, shit like that.
Yeah, you definitely can't use that word anymore, Noah.
Yeah, I don't think that's allowed.
That's pretty fucked up. That's their word.
Don't say this to me. Because I am very aware that like Roald Dahl has an actual problematic past with like certain people groups.
Yeah,
God, I know nothing about Roald Dahl.
Yeah, he has some takes that people consider to be anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
which they're
give it to me straight, Dan. Are the takes sort of anti-Semitic, or was he perhaps an anti-Semite?
I think the takes were sort of anti-Semitic. I didn't get he's an anti-Semite. I got damn, he sure does not love the war, and like has opinions on certain groups because of it, but less an anti-Semite and just I have some bad takes.
You know, I gotta say, on the airplane, this is related. On the airplane ride home, I'm not gonna make a joke, but on the airplane ride home, I watched stuff on the airplane. I never do that.
Yeah. Okay.
First of all, I downloaded the anime Chainsaw Man and watched that on my phone.
I've heard that's
gotta
very
say,
good.
Overhyped. It's garbage. It's mid. It's a 6.
Damn, got him.
Okay.
It's fine. It is completely fine, but it is not like super hyped. The CG really does suffer a little bit. Not that good. The story is kind of mid. It picks up a little bit, like way past the point when it should have done that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just hammers on the fact that isn't this kind of dark a little too much to be fun.
Okay.
Mid, but passable. You know, if you're expecting something that's going to be like fun to watch and like bloody, yeah, it's cool.
I picked up
and then I watched the rehearsal
manga, and I thought they were fun so far.
I just think that the characters are like
Got it.
And I thought that the animation was fine.
I have heard
not compelling.
Really amazing things about the rehearsal.
Yeah, it was insane.
I heard it is a batshit insane premise.
Watching the rehearsal, like I just watched all like the entire first season in a row while sitting there, and it was like fantastic. I'm a big Nathan Fielder fan. I love Nathan For You. And the rehearsal is just like him doing his thing with HBO money.
Love it.
And yeah, there's some pretty fun moments in there about like his like Jewish heritage, and yeah, there's some characters in the rehearsal for sure
that you look at and you're like, anti-Semitic or just has a bad take.
The one guy is like, you know, she's not bad with money. You know, she's like a Jew. As like Nathan Fielder's sitting there and he's like, okay, so maybe we shouldn't say that. And he's like, oh, well, that's how I would say it in normal conversation. And he's like, so then I reached an impasse of if I'm trying to rehearse for an authentic situation,
I want to be authentic.
Should I allow people to use anti-Semitic language?
I think that's actually like a very like for the premise of the show, low key an interesting question.
Yeah, no, I think so as well. And the whole show is just like, there's just some moments where.
For people who don't know, do you want to explain like what the show's about?
The starting premise is that Nathan Fielder has a hard time meeting new people and interacting in new social situations. So he comes up with this plan to rehearse everything out and get every permutation of what could happen before it happens by recreating environments he's going to be in and having actors play the part of the people he's going to be interacting with, and then just run through every possible scenario so that he can't mess up the conversation. That's the premise.
Frankly, a great premise.
It does not stick to it in the best way.
Oh no.
Because it's kind of in the classic Nathan Fielder fashion, he just gets the most insane people to sign up for this.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to beat it to like the premise is such an insane premise from the start.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like in Nathan For You, where he would just regularly get absolutely insane people. Yeah. And like halfway through the like episode, their true colors of insanity would come out, and it's like, well, now who cares about the gas station review thing? What did you say about drinking grandson's pee?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's kind of like that situation happens over and over again, and it's like,
it's wild,
man. Yeah,
they sure do be out here.
They sure do. It's really, really good though. I would heavily recommend it.
I've heard it's extremely good. It's one of those things that I don't think I will enjoy personally. I don't think it's the kind of humor that I will enjoy necessarily. But I've heard
a lot
excellent.
of like that very like secondhand embarrassment type situation.
Yeah, that ain't for me.
Like that, like that, like yeah.
The
cringe from
the
a
internal
distance.
cringe. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like the worst episodes of The Office type of stuff, but it's real and these are actual people.
That does make it worse, and also better in some way. Actually, it's almost better to know that these people are just actually insane and not made insane for the purposes of comedy. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's really funny, and yeah, it's very powerful in a very classic way. It's good. I'd give it a watch.
I'm gonna have to at some point.
But yeah, I am a certified, I guess, Chainsaw Man hater.
You know what? I respect it. I think it's a good take.
It's like veil your fetishes a little more thin, like a little more thickly. You know, don't make it so fetishy and weird.
Listen, you're allowed to have them. Just don't make me have to be a part of them.
And like, yeah, no, there's a couple. It's just the different things that happen to people who are different ages. It's just
don't like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's just really
icky.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, haven't come across that yet. Not looking forward to that.
Yeah, not the best, but somewhat fun.
It was aight.
And he do be a chainsaw man.
He did. Wow, he really did have a chainsaw man of a time.
I think the premise is fun, and like the ideas behind it are like very interesting. But it's the ground that Chainsaw Man treads is a very heavily trodden anime ground of like the modern demon hunting, witch hunting, ghost hunting, monster slaying. Like, it's a really cool premise, and it works like most every time. But like
sometimes
it's been done a bit, so it's a little easier for me to get like for me to tap out.
Valid.
That being said, I'm still gonna watch it. Like I said, it's a 6. It's a 6, maybe a 7 for some people.
Yeah,
but I think people are. It's been getting talked about like it's like a 10. So I had high expectations.
I've heard a lot of very good things about it. So it is a little.
It's funny at times, and the premise is like, just like, hey, this guy's life is garbage.
I do love that. Speaking of tapping out, I don't want to shut us down or anything, but we are at like an hour.
You look at my goddamn message in the chat.
Jesus, Dan.
No, I didn't.
Dan.
No, I didn't. I didn't see your message.
I literally said keep rolling. I'll break it into 2.
I didn't see your message. I'm sorry.
That's why I wanted to talk about New Year's Eve. I brought up a whole new topic.
Like 20 minutes.
Then cut this line.
No. Dick. Absolutely not.
You're a coward.
Did you have something else you wanted to talk about Roald Dahl, though?
No, I think that Roald Dahl has some fucking weird books, and everyone only talks about like James and the Giant Peach, and like that is far from his weirdest book.
I think.
Oh, the other thing people are problematic about is that he has real bad takes on like older women. Like almost all of his villains in his movies are like old women.
I thought this was Shel Silverstein. I had no idea who this guy is.
Oh, Roald Dahl?
Yeah. This guy's not real. That's his actual name?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, Shel Silverstein is like the incredibly frightening looking man who looks like he could also be like a member of Death Grips.
I have no idea who Shel Silverstein is
either, I just sent you a picture of him. He's got
oh, yikes.
He's got no hair.
I like that guy.
He's got a big smile. He's got some wacky little art.
He made the Giving Tree?
Yeah. He's a poetry dude.
Yeah, this guy, I think I like Shel Silverstein more than Roald Dahl. Hold up.
Is there anything else he did besides Giving Tree?
So many poems. Falling Up.
A Light in the Attic.
Mm-hmm. I think he was also like a children's series that I read a lot of.
Wait, he apparently wrote the Johnny Cash song "A Boy Named Sue." Huh?
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
And he died in Key West, Florida. Let's go.
What a good place to die. If you got to go out, you might as well go out in the sun.
So what did you guys do for Christmas?
Watched Matilda and made homemade donuts.
Nice.
It was awesome.
I've never made donuts before. It's something that I'm quite interested in, though. Did you do like a fake baked donut, or did you fry your donut?
We baked it because we got a donut tray.
Oh, okay.
We weren't willing. It was a fake donut, but it was a like, and I say homemade, but like it was like from recipe from like the core dough was from the box. So like, but you know what?
You still made them in your home. Like there's certain levels of
there's layers. Like
I bought a dozen donuts this
homemade,
morning.
But yeah,
I want to go get a donut.
Yeah, there's cinnamon sugar donuts, and they were actually like incredibly tasty. We demolished all of them in like a day, which we shouldn't have done, but we did anyway, and I don't regret a thing.
Dan, it's Christmas. You have to go a little ham on Christmas.
Exactly.
And a little cheese. And a little cookies.
Donuts are a food that like no one's just like, I'll have a donut every like 2 days. Everyone I know is like, I will eat a dozen donuts once every 4 months.
Yeah.
You know what? That's very real.
That's how I feel about donuts. Like I don't eat them like one at a time. But probably twice a year, I'll get the urge to be like, I haven't had a good donut in a while. And then I'll eat like 5 of them and be like, well, I'm not going to have these again for 6 months.
Exactly. I have a question for y'all because Michelle and I full on were like, not arguing is unfair, but we were having a strong disagreement. Are donuts a breakfast food or are they a dessert?
Can they be both? It's a breakfast food and a dessert.
But usually it's a breakfast pastry thing because there's a lot of very sweet breakfast pastries out there.
That's what I said. I said it's a breakfast pastry that you could have as a dessert. Mm-hmm. And her take was that it is firmly a dessert. Why would you eat it for breakfast? Which,
I mean, okay, firstly, I do agree with the take because there's definitely a conversation about how much sugary breakfast food there is in the world.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not like an everyday breakfast. It's not like your eggs and bacon. But it's like,
if you're the guy who's getting a cup of coffee and a donut on his way into work every day, I mean, I guess more power to you. I would.
It's a little much.
Recommend not.
Cut the donut some days,
but like
get it like a muffin, bagel.
How does she feel about muffins? Because there's a lot of sugary muffins out there.
That's a really good question, and I will have to ask her. In fact, hold on. I'm leaving that to turn the side. We'll see if she gives it back to me.
Yeah, I think that donuts are a breakfast food and a dessert, but I think they are a very sweet breakfast food, and that leads to I prefer them as a dessert, and I don't eat them as like a breakfast food.
I just eat them as I want to eat a donut.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a separate like snack experience.
Yeah, that's how I eat them as well.
But I also like I'm not gonna be mad if I go to a breakfast place and they have donuts.
Exactly.
Like coffee and donuts is a classic because those are both kind of it's a morning thing. You get like a black coffee and you use the donuts as your sweetener.
Michelle's take is that, and I quote, pastries are desserts, which I just
okay, but I really feel like she's ignoring the existence of a cream cheese Danish right now, which is a pastry.
I'll say it.
And breakfast.
I think that pastries are desserts is it's a hater take.
Mm-hmm. It's low-key a hater take, right?
It's got me doing I am doing the Grimes tweet of "This is not your heart." Get off Twitter. I know this is not your heart. Tweet. Like it's a hater. Like who's gonna be like, oh, a ham and cheese croissant? That's not for breakfast. Okay, why?
Okay, real talk. I get that there are like chocolate croissants, but like I do judge people who eat croissants just like out of the blue.
What do you
mean? Like
mean?
A plain
like,
croissant?
Out of the blue?
Like just a plain ass fucking croissant.
Yeah, I mean I've done it, but like most of the time I don't go anywhere that just sells like a plain croissant, and I don't make them at home. But I've had them here and there. Chocolate croissants I do love.
I do love a chocolate croissant. Honestly, croissants are just like really great. I love having a croissant with meals when they're like legit. Like no disrespect to the Pillsbury crescent roll, but that is not ever what I want.
Yeah, you have to view those as a different entity, and then they can go hard.
They truly are different.
I view them as almost like a close to a biscuit.
Yeah, they exactly. Are. If you see them as like biscuit adjacent, and you're not like expecting like an authentic like croissant, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're really good. Michelle and I use them for pigs and blankets literally all the time,
and they're like real cheap.
Yeah, they really are. Okay, I've got an update from Michelle. We've got Danishes are a dessert.
What?
And croissants, not chocolate kind, are breakfast. But chocolate is a dessert.
See,
I actually don't totally disagree with that one. That one I think is a relatively
firstly,
same take.
I feel like this is how Dan feels when I'm... No, this is just how I feel with the ravioli thing. Again. I'm honestly...
I didn't bring it up this time.
I'm just so confused. Because in my mind... Pastries are simply a breakfast item. They could be like the dessert of breakfast.
100%.
Like it shouldn't like
maybe shouldn't be your whole breakfast
scale of breakfast foods. It's definitely on the dessert end of it. It shouldn't be your primary nutrition in the morning. But I've never.
And yet,
it's one of those things where I'm not going to judge you for eating a donut with your breakfast in the same way that I'm not going to judge you for like having a sugary milky coffee. In my mind, it's the same thing.
No, I 100% agree.
Neither of them are technically good for you. Neither of them technically fulfill any sort of deep role with anything, but like...
Disagree. They fulfill my heart.
Okay. I mean like in a nutritional way.
Yes. What's that line from... it's not good for your heart, Squidward. Good for your soul.
Yeah, I like a donut, but I think I'm in a different camp than everybody here, honestly, because I think that desserts can be breakfast and breakfast can be desserts.
I think that's fair. And see,
it's like
I'd be more okay with
chocolate chip pancakes is like Like, what? Come on, if you put like strawberries and whipped cream on top of your pancakes,
That's a dessert. Get out of here.
that's a dessert. If we're using the standard of like a chocolate croissant's a dessert.
Yeah. No, and see, I agree
But I
with
also
that.
think that I would totally eat some chocolate chip pancakes at like 8 p.m. as a dessert.
Yeah. I can get behind. It's both. That was I gave.
Not all desserts are breakfast though.
No, not at all. And I gave, when we were talking about this, I was like, listen, I'm willing to accept that it can be both a dessert and a breakfast. But
Yeah,
like,
it's
I think the common association, like when I think breakfast food or breakfast pastries, is donuts.
yeah. I think a donut is a breakfast food.
Thank you.
I think it's a donut is a breakfast food before it's a dessert, but it's a very passable dessert.
I appreciate this. I need you guys to know I have been floating this around to the different members of the community for the last like maybe 4 days, and I have felt like I've been losing my mind because everyone's
Really?
like, "Nah, it's a dessert."
No, because like the classic is you see like it's literally like the
coffee and a donut.
Simpsons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can just imagine like Homer Simpson with like a coffee before work,
Yeah.
or like just like a classic cartoon cop, like 8 a.m. with like some donuts and a cup of coffee.
100%. It's wild. It's one of the few times that I've sat here and been like, damn, I really am alone in this world, you know?
No, you are not. I agree with you.
I appreciate that, genuinely. I genuinely needed the validation. I was starting to think that perhaps I was in the wrong here, but now I know that it is.
You were never
It's
in the
not
wrong.
me. It's the children who are
I'm
wrong.
I'm not afraid to tell you when you're in the wrong. Don't you worry.
I'm not either. I actually relish it.
Yeah, I feel like in this, you know what? I can trust you guys for one thing, and it's to tell me when I'm off base.
And Dan, not based? Damn.
Not based.
I'm so
No.
surprised.
2023, the year of not based, actually.
That's I don't know how I feel about that, but go off.
Hey, we're still in our classy era, Dan. Come on, straighten up.
I can be classy. Okay, hold on. Do you think classy and based have to go hand in hand? Because I've got. Let me tell you some bad news.
No, I think they cannot go hand in
I
hand.
think they, by definition, have to go against each other.
I think if you're classy, you're not based.
I think
Actually,
I agree with
when
that.
did the classy era start? Wasn't the classy era at the beginning of last year?
Yeah, we're halfway through the classy era.
No, I mean like
No,
not
I
at
think
the
it was. I think it
beginning.
was the
Of,
beginning of this season.
oh, it was the beginning of the season. Okay, I just wanted to make
I
sure
think so.
because there's nothing I want to do more than remain classy OTA.
Class the air, as we call it.
I do not
internally.
call it that, but more power to you.
Class off the class is what we calls it. New Year's. What'd you guys do for New Year's?
Oh, so I was in town.
Okay.
Christmas I did spend in Taiwan,
Rad.
which I suppose is worth at least touching on for a second.
Yeah, 100%.
Because as you guys know, it's not like a Christmas celebrating country.
Yeah.
They don't believe in.
they've got their
They don't
own
believe in our
Lunar
Lord
Year.
and Savior Jesus Christ.
Not largely, they don't.
Damn, guys, I'm going on a
But-
mission trip.
So true. Yeah, it was like there was still some Christmassy stuff, but just like here and there as like decorations. There were some like city like squares that had like Christmas trees in them,
Okay.
but it wasn't like anything special, and people were like, "Wow, it's magical!" Like Christmas Day, we went out to like Korean barbecue.
Hell yeah. You should
It's
go.
pretty
You
good.
should go out to Korean barbecue every day. Don't at me.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not blown away by Korean barbecue. I've had it twice now, and I'm just like, this is fine.
I'm sorry
It's
for your
grilling
loss.
meats. I got a grill right outside the back porch.
No, and I think that's very fair. I think as somebody who does not have a grill, Korean barbecue fucks so hard.
That's true. Like I love just like marinating some like pork tenderloins and grilling them up. And so like to me, Korean barbecue is just doing that in a crowded environment.
No, that's
And
exactly.
I
what it
hate
is.
crowded
No,
environments. So like
I understand you completely. Yeah, no, it is exactly that. You have summed up the joy of Korean barbecue and also explained very succinctly why it's not your vibe.
but I love hot pot though, which is strange to me. Because it's like not that different a vibe in terms of the place and the terms of like I can do it at home.
Okay, I actually have data points on this.
Okay, you have a theory?
So I have now taken 3 different people to their first hot pot experience. As Michelle took me to mine, I just like when people come to town, we've got this good hot pot place we go to. It's all you can eat, whatever. And the general consensus that I get from everybody is that they prefer the experience of the hot pot more, but the taste of the Korean barbecue more.
Oh, I think the experience and taste for hot pot are what I like more.
Personally agree, but I think I get like I understand why like the take of Korea, like the barbecue being a more fulfilling food, just because I feel like there is a problem if you are kind of new to, especially if you're newer to hot pot, of all your hot pot food tasting the same.
Yeah, I also feel like there's just like if you are like an American, a lot of times you're probably gonna gravitate more towards like bigger hunks of like grilled meat as opposed to like thinner slices and a lot of vegetables.
Yeah, I definitely would prefer hot pot over Korean barbecue, like in a vacuum. But
I love me vegetables, so like when I go to like when I went to Korean barbecue, like the vegetable game wasn't really there to the same degree.
Yeah, no,
like there's a lot of lettuce.
You get pineapple, at least around here.
Yeah,
that's not a vegetable.
It's not.
I gotta bravely say it. It's not a vegetable.
It's absolutely not. But like
this place had a bunch of different like hot and cold sides, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's
but
nice.
I love the just however many you want raw veggies at hot pot.
Yeah, dude. I firmly support.
Yeah, I love it. So that was my experience, but that was what I did on Christmas, and that was kind of fun. I watched that new Scrooge movie that was like garbage.
Yeah.
Watched Elf for the first time since I was in like middle school.
I thought you were about to just say for the first time, and which was going to be like a slap in the face for me. But
honestly, yeah.
I think Elf is pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think Elf is one of those movies that has held up like reasonably well. Like I
think it gets like a lot of it gets a lot more exposure than I think it deserves.
Sure.
By people that kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's extremely big.
It's an Office situation for sure. But like I watched it and I was like, you know what, this is better than I thought it would be because my mind was in hater mode and it was actually kind of funny and delightful at times.
I think that is brave of you, first of all.
Thank you.
But also, I think that is exactly like where I stand on it as well, as somebody who has not watched it in many, many, many moons. I would recommend it next year. Yeah, I think I'm you know what, I'm gonna add it to my list of Christmas movies to watch this coming year.
So to answer your question about New Year's Eve,
yes, New Year's. Sorry,
I didn't do much. I woke up at like 10 p.m.
because your sleep schedule is still in Taiwan time.
Yeah, it's very strange, which is weird because when I went there, I didn't have any problems. Like the first day, I slept a little bit like in the afternoon, and then was good for the rest of the trip. Mm-hmm. But I haven't been able to sleep that well because I also like on the way there basically came down with a sinus infection.
Disgusting.
So I just still have that, and that made my trip slightly unfun at a lot of points.
I would imagine, yeah.
Went through a lot of Pokemon branded tissues.
Ugh.
But New Year's Eve, I woke up at like 10 p.m., went over to a friend's house, had some Walmart poppers.
I'm sorry?
Like the little
little party poppers.
Yeah, you just like pull the string and it goes
Got it. Okay, I thought like Walmart popper was like a jalapeno popper somehow, and I was like, excuse?
I mean, they do.
I was
in
willing
the
to
frozen
believe
section.
it was just a Walmart jalapeno popper.
No, they've got to have some great value jalapeno poppers you can put in the oven.
They're fine.
And they're probably fine. But I got like the little the ones that have like an absolute like iota of ribbon inside and a fragment of a streamer.
Like an offensive amount.
Legally,
of
there is a streamer there, and that's about all you can say.
Yeah, but mostly it just goes pop.
Yeah.
And then it was just like them and we just like sat there and we're like, oh, it's New Year. And then we watched Avatar.
Oh, how was that?
The first one. First one. And we're going to watch Avatar, the second one, tomorrow.
I'm so interested in watching stuff like that like I don't think actually is going to be good or matters just because I know it's going to be like a big slam bang
The first
event.
Avatar, holy cow, the white savior complex in the first Avatar is absurd.
100%.
I saw the movie once in theaters when I was like a teenager, so I don't really remember any of this, but I'm like, wow, they really did all that, huh? And nothing happens. The whole movie, there's no plot.
Yeah. So
it's 3 hours of nothing, but I like was here for it.
That's like a big issue with this movie the second time around too, is that James Cameron has put out statements saying that this movie is what if he were a Native American, then this movie is what he would have wanted to have. That. Yeah, no, it's really bad.
It's such a train wreck because they have to go off the plot of the first movie, which is like a super dated at this point, like white savior complex kind of thing. Yeah. That's like basically the main character's whole deal was hating the scientists for trying to learn about ecology and being like, I would gladly sell your data to the Marines. Mm-hmm. And the whole movie, he's just selling their data to the Marines so that they can get moved out and their tree can get exploded.
Yep.
And he's basically just like Call of Duty personified. Like he's just like, I can't wait to shoot a gun in the forest. And then he's like the hero the whole time. And it just doesn't really like, and then like the botanists that are like, we'd love to understand the ecosystem and get to know the indigenous people so that we can like understand their cultures and their like society better and how this planet operates. They're like seen as like some chumps by him.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he learns that like they're not all bad, but he's still gotta like, I don't know, use his mega super ultra gun to fight the Marines that he gave all the information to so they knew what to do. It's not good.
Yeah.
And they have to piggyback off that to make 4 more movies.
They don't have
Ain't
to,
no
to
way.
be fair. Let's be clear. Yeah. They don't have
That's
to
true.
do
That could
anything.
be completely I just want to see the second one and see all like the water. Also, it is. It's not like I'm gonna be. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be much more enjoyable when you see it than when I eventually see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna like, got a friend of mine made some brownies. We're gonna.
You're gonna be on a sugar rush.
Well,
Yeah,
they might be sugar
high,
crashing
maybe.
by the time they're there.
Gonna be out of my gourd watching Avatar 2. And I feel like that is the only way it's even like worth doing.
No, I would agree. I actually could not imagine.
Because like no one cares about the movie. I just want to see the cool visuals. I want to see the underwater coral reefs that are gonna probably be there and like a giant shark thing. I just love the alien creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the cat thing?
No.
I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler, really.
Well, I'm gonna see it tomorrow. No point in showing them now.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know what you think of the cat thing.
Cat thing like cute animal companion
No.
or cat thing
like Predator.
Oh hell yeah!
like Rad
there was one of
Predator.
those in the first one, kind of.
And without showing any visuals, I remember reading a thing that James Cameron said that he wanted it to be something that would, and I quote, "eat the alien queen for breakfast," which I just
Who's the alien queen?
from Alien.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
What if
big
they-
moves, man. You're not gonna do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
here's my thing that eats the alien queen for breakfast. It's a blue whale
Right? It's such a weird
because it's big.
like, sir, you do know that movie is so old. Nobody
Yeah, like
nobody
Giblet
was
could eat the alien queen for
Nobody thought
breakfast
you
if
were
you made him
big.
20 feet tall.
Exactly. Very dumb.
It's just such a weird metric because like I get I get what he meant by it.
Sure,
but, like
100%, but it was just a weird choice.
a big enough swarm of ants could eat the alien queen for breakfast. It was hungry.
Not my alien queen though. She actually is immune to ants.
Not my alien president.
Exactly. Correct. That is the correct take. You've nailed it.
I've been kind of on the sparkling water train since I got back.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, sparkling water's good, Dan. You just don't like it.
Oh, yeah, this does remind me because I got some guava Sao Paulo LaCroix.
Ooh.
Like the Brazilian pink guavas. Guavas are really big in Taiwan,
Mm-hmm.
and they're really big in Taiwan.
Oh.
They're not as good.
Is it because they're too big and they like get watered down?
I think so. Yeah, like it's
like a
just like
watermelon
a
issue.
different type of guava. Like they're green and they're large and they're like pear shaped and they're a little pear tasting. They're a little like more crisp, a little less flavorful, and there's not like any mush to them really. Because I'm used to eating like the Mexican and then like to a lesser extent the Brazilian like pink guavas, but the ones that are like the size of like the size of a small tomato, like maybe like a really really big cherry tomato. Like they're like a good 2 bites, and you can eat them like the whole skin and all. You just eat them 2 bites, seeds and everything. That's what I'm used to when it comes to guava.
Yeah, 100%.
And their guava are like bigger than a softball, and like have like a dark green rind, and they like peel them into slices and you eat them, and they're much more like refreshing but much less flavorful.
Wild.
I don't like them as much,
I don't blame you, frankly.
Yeah.
but they're everywhere. Yeah, I've been drinking some guava LaCroix, and I'm enjoying it. I've been enjoying it the last couple of days. I remembered, like, 'cause I was on the Soda Stream for a while,
Yeah.
and I still have it, but it's not. When I switched to only using the Soda Stream, I kind of stopped drinking sparkling water because it's just not as good as like a fresh can every time. I wish it was, but it's just not.
Yeah,
feel like-
will. Good.
I feel like stuff like a Soda Stream is mostly useful for making your own flavor of something. You know, like if you want to have a carbonated thing that you're not going to find carbonated somewhere else.
You know what I've been drinking lately? That I would think would be great for a Soda Stream. Do you guys know what Izzy's are?
Yeah.
No.
But they're literally just carbonated juice,
Oh.
like fruit juice, like
Okay.
pomegranate and whatever. And honestly, huge fan of that. And I would love a Soda Stream to make that for myself.
Yeah, the Soda Streams are like kind of weird with carbonating non-water though.
Unfortunate.
They can get a little explosive, which makes it a little nasty because if you have orange juice explode everywhere,
Yeah, no,
But
I
I'm
don't
sure
want
it's
that.
worth like giving a shot, and there's got to be a way to do it.
Can you carbonate booze like
can, yeah.
liqueur?
Yeah, you can. I think it's probably again like you're not really.
I'm wondering what that would even be like. I can't imagine that would be good.
No, it's you have plenty of like drinks that come with soda water. Like
Sure, but that's not the same thing as carbonating
you make
your
a Tom
liqueur.
Collins or something.
Yeah, I would rather add the alcohol to a carbonated thing because it'll still have that carbonated feel instead of trying to carbonate the alcohol. Because I feel like you might do
more harm than
anytime
good.
you pressurize or heat or do different things to alcohol, you can get yourself in like
explosive trouble.
Not even explosive trouble, but just like you don't. Alcohol fumes are not the same for you as alcohol.
Yeah,
True, very true.
Like I've heard tell of people doing things like putting like beer in like different smoking apparatuses. Like it's like those college party like nightmare stories of like this guy like put beer in like a bong or whatever and then like smoked it, and apparently you can do some like severe damage to yourself because you're just inhaling alcohol fumes.
That would make sense. I would expect that to be a bad thing for you.
And I feel like SodaStream carbonating alcohol might have the same like
effect.
There might be some probably avoided territory.
No, I think that's extremely valid. Yet here I am being curious nonetheless.
Oh, I'm sure you could. I just don't know how it probably would just taste like the alcohol, but maybe a little fizzy.
Yeah, a little fizz pop.
I think it would be too strong for you to really get a lot of the fizz feeling.
Yeah,
because alcohol has its own feeling.
Mm-hmm. I can't imagine it being like something that actually is like an effective thing.
I have thought about it as well, but I've never done anything with it.
I will never be doing anything with it either. To be clear.
Yeah, mostly because you have to do like a whole bottle of booze.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Which like that's a lot to potentially ruin, or to just commit to drinking while it's still fizzy.
See,
yeah,
that's why I would simply only do a cocktail if I were going to do that. I wouldn't want to do a whole bottle.
No, nobody cares about your
much.
cocktail.
You didn't have to say it that way.
I think he did.
You know what? Good point. He did.
Thank you. I've been saying that's true a lot, like compulsively. That's true.
I've been saying so true compulsively, so I'm glad that we swapped our bit, apparently.
So true, bestie.
That's true. And like anytime, like mostly like I'll just be sitting here with Giblet and he'll look at me or like do something. I'll be like, yeah, that's true.
Michelle and I have been getting on the so true bestie train.
I'm sorry to hear that for you. I will pray that it passes.
Ironically, but
that's the danger, isn't it?
I know. No, I do. Trust me. I know the danger. Also, Michelle is now messaging me on the side. I have stopped talking to her about this, and she's now messaging me about
the hate's coming in
about sweet crepes being a dessert.
No, it's just oh my god. There's no reason to. Like,
it's just a sweet breakfast. Like if you get like a bubble waffle with some like blueberries in it. Is it just not a dessert?
And yet she has the audacity to tell me to my face that blueberry muffins are a breakfast somehow.
But blueberry
in this,
but like a crepe with fruit in it, is that a breakfast?
Apparently.
Because it's sweet.
No, it's a dessert. I thought.
In her mind, that is a dessert.
So it's the fresh fruit line. It's fruit. If there's fruit in it, it's breakfast. And if there's no fruit, which means that Danishes are on thin ice being just a dessert by these insane rules.
We know because like sweet crepes are often, like more often than not, have fruit to them.
True.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you can get like a sweet crepe with just like Nutella, but I feel like it's always like Nutella and banana or like Nutella and strawberry.
Yeah. No, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
So I think that means that I think fruit might be fresh fruit might be a dessert making factor. I also think this is just part of like the weird like human
need to categorize everything.
Not even human need, the weird like American need to be like this thing is this thing.
Yes, but I also find that listen, this is the first time I've been on the other side of it where I am flabbergasted and not the instigator, and I am living for it.
I'm glad that you know how I feel every time you say things.
Yeah, but the difference is that I love this. This is great. I feel like I'm losing my mind complimentary, not losing my mind derogatory.
That's because you make it a losing my mind derogatory. In fairness, you elevate it.
Okay, listen, I do nothing of the sort. I want to be clear. I absolutely do not elevate it. How dare you, sir? I will not sit here and stand for this slanderous behavior.
I feel like it's like it just reminds me of being in like 5th grade.
It is. Oh, it's massive 5th grade energy, 100%. But I didn't go to real 5th grade, so I don't have negative connotations with that.
I don't know how you could
see
not.
it as like a 5th grade. I didn't have like negative connotations like a bad time. I just was like, I was like 10.
Valid.
But now I'm more mature now. If someone says a donut can't be a breakfast, I say, who are you? Donut police? That's just the regular police.
Damn, donut cops. That's just, okay, I like that. That was good. All right. Yeah, no, you can have that one.
Who cares? Is a Hot Pocket ravioli? Who cares? What are you going to do? Stop me from eating it?
Yes.
You can't.
I'm going to do it. I'll figure it out.
You can't.
Not yet.
I can eat a donut for breakfast. I can eat a donut for dessert, and nobody can stop me.
Oh my God. That was the other thing we did. Oh, I almost forgot. That was the other thing we did we did it technically like the day before Christmas. We made a fucking corned beef.
Oh, there was a name for that day.
We made shut up. We made corned beef for the first time. And that turned out amazing.
Oh, Dan, I don't know how to tell you this, but you were 7 months late or 5 months early.
I don't care.
Damn.
The Irish don't matter to me.
Wow.
Classic New Yorker attitude.
Congratulations on fully becoming New York now.
No, we've never made it before, and we were just like, we've had this in our fridge for like no joke 3 years or something ridiculous, or a freezer rather, for like no joke like 2 or 3 years, and we're like, it needs to be gone. We can't throw this out. It was too expensive. It just needs to be gone. Oh,
this is the life hack. You buy it the day after St. Pat's, and it's like $1 a pound tops.
I am writing that down because we're gonna do it again, and we made a bunch of Reubens out of it. And then on the last day, Michelle stayed home from work on like this past Thursday, so the day before, so that would be like the 30th, so whatever, right before New Year's Eve. And we made corned beef hash in the morning, and you guys, I love a corned beef hash.
Corned beef hash is like insane because it's one of those foods that even the 99-cent can goes hard.
It goes so hard for no.
But then like when you up the quality, you get immense returns.
Immense returns.
100%.
So like the $1 version goes hard.
Yeah, it goes super hard.
The $10 version goes 10 times as hard.
100%, and it is a blessing, frankly. Like homemade, like the homemade hash. We did we did all of it. That one was actually all homemade. And I have no words for the joy I had with my, that is my go-to, like, I'm going to a breakfast place, I'm getting hash. That's what I'm getting. Because I'm
like a hash or an omelet guy for sure.
Omelets are also a really good choice. 'Cause I'm not gonna make an omelet at home. I'm just not gonna do it. Like I could, I physically am capable, of course. I'm not. Yeah,
it's actually not too hard, but it's just like,
Exactly. It's just like, Like there's a little bit of like, I don't always have all the stuff for like a really good omelet, and like there's like some steps here, but absolute true delight. Speaking of breakfast foods, I'm gonna make a hot take here that I feel like I can only make now that I'm a real adult.
Oh, let's hear it.
Bacon?
You about to say it's mid?
Kind of mid compared to, like, I would rather have a really good quality sausage than bacon any day.
No, yeah.
I think.
Oh, go ahead, Jackson.
I think when you go to like, I think at home, I'm pretty on board with bacon.
Agreed, 100%.
And also on board with sausage. I'm on board with ham. If I go to a restaurant though, I pretty much always get the ham, which I know is probably the most. It's unhinged to a lot of people.
I will say it's a little bit of an unhinged choice.
It is.
Well, let me give you my take on it though. Because if you go to a restaurant, you get like an omelet, and they're like, "Do you want the bacon, sausage, or ham?" You get the bacon, you're getting 2 strips, maybe 5 grams of bacon.
Yes.
Nothing. You get the sausage, you're gonna get maybe 2 links, maybe a nice patty.
If you're lucky.
30, 40 grams. A lot more per dollar than the bacon. Mm-hmm. You get the ham, because no one gets the ham. They give you this massive slab of ham.
100%. I would actually also argue
thick and delightful.
Ham and eggs. Way superior to bacon and eggs and to sausage and eggs.
People don't respect ham and eggs. People forgot about ham in the breakfast time.
I agree. I think that it's a tragedy, frankly.
And I love breakfast ham because it's like a thick cut, and you get if you're paying per dollar, you're getting way more calories per dollar out of breakfast ham
100%.
than breakfast bacon any day.
100%.
If I'm at home and I can just comfortably eat 8 strips of bacon and no one can look at me and say, that's a little much.
Yeah.
And if you go to a restaurant and get 8 strips of bacon, it's going to be $30.
Yeah.
Why? Why are we lying to ourselves like that?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you because
Why do we let restaurants lie to us and tell us that if you want another 2 strips of bacon, it's going to be $4?
I don't know.
Absolutely hate it.
That's the greatest lie the devil actually told.
That's true.
Is that 3 more pieces of bacon will be $4 more.
So one thing
just,
that I've recently gotten turned on to though is at work we got a sheets put in right next door, which has been I have very intentionally made this a neutral life event for me, but it could be easily a terrible thing or a positive thing, depending, you know. I get breakfast there every now and then because if I put the order in at home and then I go there to pick it up, it is done before I get there, so I can pick it up and go to work.
That's pretty good.
If I'm like running behind, you know. And they have a chicken sausage on their breakfast menu that it really goes hard, and I'm realizing that everyone's just afraid of chicken and turkey sausage because no one puts the right blend of fat in it to keep it from being just dry as hell. And when people make it at home, they overcook it because they're afraid of chicken and it's just dry as hell. And when you do that to sausage, there's enough fat in there. It recovers, but not the case with chicken as much. It's a very low fat food, you know?
Yeah. I feel like people don't respect. I feel like a lot of hate also for like turkey bacon, chicken sausage, turkey sausage comes from people who are like, they're trying to make my breakfast meat healthy.
No,
it's good and it's cheaper.
No, there's definitely like toxic like masculinity shit has made breakfast meats regress a lot because
why
it could be so much more.
Why are adult men over 40 so strange about breakfast meat?
Because they're cowards.
I'll tell you what, I think if you could ask me my favorite breakfast meat option, it's always fried chicken. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
I respect that. It is not for me, but I do respect it very much.
It's deeply for me in all like if like I go to McDonald's for breakfast, I get a McChicken on whatever I'm getting.
No, I respect that very much. I don't know. See, that's where I draw the metaphorical line. Is I can't see fried chicken as a breakfast food, even though I understand that it is very normal. Chicken and waffles is a very normal thing that people have. Just not for me.
Like a McChicken biscuit with bacon, egg, and cheese, or with just egg and cheese. So good.
I buy that.
I got turned on to the chicken train back at Chick-fil-A. A spicy chicken sandwich on a biscuit is insanely good.
Yeah, it is.
I never thought of like spicy chicken and pickles as a breakfast item, but I once I had it, I'm like, oh, this is really nice.
It's definitely a southern thing, but like I love a good fried chicken for breakfast.
I respect a good fried chicken for breakfast. I won't lie. I quite a bit, actually.
You just don't care for it personally.
No, it's absolutely not for me. But I think that it's one of these few situations where I'm not like, I am superior because of this. It is just not my thing.
That's fair.
I think, you know what? I would even go so far as to say it's an important thing to have. I think it is important to be able to have that option on the table.
It's not that big of an option though. You don't see it that many places.
Well, and to be fair, like you got your beef for breakfast. You can get beef patties for breakfast, whatever. You can get your pork patties for breakfast, whatever. You really don't get chicken for breakfast in any other way besides fried chicken. Like it's just not an option.
Yeah, I mean, I would be down for some grilled chicken for breakfast. I'm sure. I've just never been given the opportunity.
Exactly. Exactly. They're trying to keep it from you, frankly.
They're trying to keep me down.